With 6 kids, a hamster, a whole bunch of stray cats. We don't have cats, they have us. And about 3 or 4 Buzz Lightyears. Maybe more, I lost track. The house looked even more tzioni the week of Yom Ha'atzmaut. Hello, little kitty. Remember the canned food drives in 11th grade? Some things don't change. This year, of course, is still a Shemitah year for the next month and a half. So we're sporting a bit of the overgrown look. Supposed to do minimal pruning. That's all right, we like the jungle look.
Hi, I'm Rivka Sakura, Gabby Greenberg. Hi, I'm Rivka Sakura, Gabby Greenberg's daughter. Did you really skip all those classes? I'm Maytal Greenberg, Seth Greenberg's daughter. I hear he was kind of a troublemaker. We wanted to show you how easy it really is to speak in Hebrew. For example, לטלפן, to telephone, לדסקס, to discuss, לפקסס, to fax, לסמס, to SMS. Sorry, מה זה cool? So cool. ממש לא big deal. No big deal. לנג'ז, nudge, לפסבק, to Facebook, לנדנק, to nudnik.
Hi, I just made them cheese toast. And if you want oatmeal, it's called kvaker. If you're in high tech, you might have to debug, the debug. You might have to compile, the compile. You might have to replicate, the replic. That's about it. Go.
Go.
I just made them cheese toast. And if they wanted oatmeal, I give them kvaker. And at work, I often compile, le compile, I debug, le debug, and I sometimes have to replicate, le replic.
And you work in the field of?
High tech.
And who are the other cute people here?
No!
Say action.
Action!
That's all.
That's all you get.
Well, we'd love to see your face just once.
Gave you 3 seconds.
Great face. Ooh.
Oh, get me out of here!
All guests here should have stickers with them on them saying guest. Trying to fly with 240 Olim, making Aliyah from all over North America.
Delightful and witty and beautiful. Hello.
Delightful and witty and beautiful. This is a test.
For the next 60
Delightful.
seconds, the emergency broadcasting
Yes.
system will be conducting a test of our screwy camera. This is only a
Alright,
test.
turn the test off and let's try it.
Whee!
Alright, come.
Are we on?
You're on.
This is a very cute little boy that I just found climbing up my kitchen counter. And there was such a large degree of cuteness potential that I thought he should be in the movie too. Want to say hi?
Hi.
Want to say hi, class of 83?
Hi, class of 83.
That was very good. Want to say it in Hebrew? Go and show them your cute accent. It's really cute. I love all these little kids running around with very native Israeli accents that it's hard to believe that they're mine. Okay, so anyway, Hi everybody, and I'm finally on this end of the camera. You did an amazing job putting this whole thing together. Thank you. And thank you to all the hapless victims who agreed to be in the video from this side. Thank you for putting up with all of my nudging, and I'm hoping it comes out good on that side. That'll be well worth it. Want to say hi again?
Hi.
This is Shaya, and he's going to be how old?
5.
When?
In a month.
No, in a week.
In a week.
Video 10 minutes that I sent into the book that actually made it in. While Rabbi Shon runs downstairs in the gym right now, this is your golden opportunity. Go turn his office backwards. And is David still running out to the payphone in the middle of all the proceedings today? That would be curious to know. Cut for 1 second. I prepared a little show and tell here. Ronnie, as editor-in-chief of the yearbook, I wanted you to know the impression it made on me is that I still have the proof pages, the ones that I actually handed in on time, which wasn't many of them, and the original envelope that went to, what's his name, Mr. Robespierre, Mr. St. Pierre. And the collage that I was really late getting to you, here it is. Do as you please. My original HANC acceptance letter to my parents, dated March 82, 83, I guess that was. No, March 80. And my falling apart at the seams yearbook. Anyway, sorry. Start again. I have a newfound respect for the teachers and administrators, and on a whole lot of levels. First of all, from being on the other side of raising kids now, but also just anyone who spends that amount of time with teenagers on a regular basis for that many hours a day. Hats off to you, because this is a brave new world. We have 3 teenagers in the house, and some others, and I never had such great appreciation for what you guys do. Thank you. And I don't really know how to encapsulate what living in Israel is like in a 30-second soundbite.
Go.
I once heard Rabbi Beryl Wein describe living in Israel as one big shul meeting, which is a great metaphor. Everybody's loud. Well, not everybody. The Americans aren't as loud. Everybody's opinionated. Everyone will comment on what's going on, but Sachakol, everyone's here for the greater good. Everybody cares about the bigger picture, and when the little details don't get lost in the shuffle, it all actually works together rather well. I've also heard it compared to sitting at a symphony orchestra in the front row seats, having front row seats to a symphony orchestra. You see the glitches, you see the mistakes, you see every time a string pops, you see the schwitz, you see all the messes that go on backstage some of the time. You see the schwitz. You might see a performer get really frustrated and make a face. You're in the front row, you can't miss anything, but you're part of the game, you're part of the show. Your reaction spurs on their reactions. Your reactions are the first ones that they see. You're an integral player in the whole symphony, as opposed to kind of sitting in the back row. What did they say? What's going on? Living in Israel is like sitting in the front row of a show, of a symphony. You can't miss anything, and you're a part of the action, and you're a part of what's making it happen. It infuses kind of every small move with a lot of significance, because you really feel like you're part of history. Every small thing that you do is part of your Monday, everyday life here. We had the zchut of attending another Nefesh B'Nefesh ceremony, a welcoming ceremony for a flight of Olim yesterday. And I like to remind the kids, watch as all these people are getting off the plane, and all the fun and all the music and all the flags. Don't let it get lost in the shuffle that you're watching a nevuah unfolding in front of your eyes. A lot of times people tend to concentrate on the bad stuff. Oh, it's so hot, and the terrorists, and I don't know, salaries, all the other stuff that people, find to mention about here. We call it Baraglim syndrome. But if you keep your eyes and your ears open, there's a lot of good stuff. There are little things every day that can remind you of the bigger picture here. Got 1 second. We hear all the time about the Prime Minister and what's going on in the government, and there'll be an opening soon for Prime Minister, so if anybody's interested in the job. You don't have to be the best guy for the job, you just have to be better than what we've got. We'll put in a good word, be in touch, we'll put it through. So there's so much good to see here every day, and as long as you don't let the bad stuff get the better of you. I mean, we're in a shul now, it's a Karlbach shul. There are Olim from 22 different countries. We hear routinely at least 5 or 6 different languages just online in the supermarket. There are even 4 different versions of English. There's British English and Aussie English and South African English and American English, although they don't think we speak English. In America, they haven't used it for years. I met an African, no, not African, I met an Alaskan Eskimo immigrant the other day in the park. She comes from a small fishing village, and her whole family made Aliyah. So really, the sky's the limit here, and it's kibbutz galuyot kind of every day. Where am I? If you keep aware of it, there's not a day goes by that you don't feel like you're something bigger than yourself. When 2 summers ago, katyushas were raining down on the whole northern section of the country, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of residents from the north, from Nahariya, Kiryat Shmona, Haifa, everywhere, were streaming south. Some had relatives, some had hotel rooms, others had nothing. Ra'anana, for example, was one city that opened its doors. We had a family staying with us whom we'd never met before, stayed with us for 2 weeks. We all pitched in and turned the kids' school into a makeshift hostel for about 50 or 60 people from Kiryat Shmona who were bombed out of their homes. People we'd never met before, they'd never met us before. But this wasn't the exception, this was the rule. Cities absolutely all over the central and southern part of Israel just opened their hearts and their doors and took people in. The whole country was unbelievably unified, and these are things, despite the headlines you may see, these are things that happen, hundreds of times a day. Not on such a grand scale, but it's what keeps things moving all the time. Just in all the little things that happen, in a couple of weeks' time, Shana Tova will start appearing on everything, even the Coke bottles and the potato chip bags. Little things like that that remind you of who you are and where you are. What else can I tell you? Okay, but we still have the quadratic formula here, except you have to do it in Hebrew. The Hebrews do it backwards, which is absolutely frightening. And now the top 3 reasons for living in Israel. Oh gosh, I can't do this. You didn't stop it, just keep going. Okay. Reason number 3, no huge yeshiva tuition bills. Reason number 2, no 3-day yontifs. Reason number 1, only one Seder. Come on, guys, it's got to have a little pull. Okay, and one of Andrea's thought-provoking questions was, what's our greatest hope and greatest fear from participating, albeit long distance, in the reunion? I guess my greatest hope is that this whole experience has felt like rediscovering a lost branch of the family. I was amazed at the first conference call how easily everybody just spoke to each other, as sort of picking up where we left off. I think that there were some teachers who would be floored at how organized this became, how organized all of the students were in putting this whole thing together. And other teachers who wouldn't be surprised at all. Our class was very active in so many things, and when stuff needed to get done, we just pulled it together and got it done, albeit in a rather insane way. I loved hearing Rabbi Schoenbrun's description of our class. You guys were insane. I mean, there are always pockets of insanity here and there, but you guys, like each one of you and all together, you were just nuts. But it was a good kind of nuts. It was a very creative kind of nuts, and it had a very large influence on me up until today. My greatest fear is that we'll all lose touch with each other again. So it's going to take some effort. One thing I forgot, I apologize to Yisrael, to Seth Lutnick and Danny Jacobson. We threw this video together literally at the 11th hour the last week. We're going to be editing like mad until the last possible minute that it can be emailed. And so I apologize. We couldn't, there just wasn't time to reach everybody. I tried, and I'm sorry you're not on it. I'm sorry. So I'm sorry about that. Mea culpa, mea maxima culpa. Thanks, Mrs. Lynch. So anyway. So Alana Weiland, Henry Higgins, and Rabbi Schoenbrun, this one's for you. Come on, Dova. Come on, Dova. Come on, Dova. Move, you bloomin'. No, cut it off. Thanks, guys. Have an awesome time there. We miss you. Go, Hank. Yay. Okay, I guess the biggest fear I have of participating, well, from 6,000 miles away, of participating in the reunion is, oh, can you start it again? Okay, and my greatest fear participating, albeit from long distance, in the reunion, I guess aside from seeing how bald all the guys got, sorry, would have to be, well, first of all, anybody actually playing that recording of Mrs. Myers and me doing the witches scene from Macbeth. That would be one fear. And the second one, I guess most importantly, would be losing touch with everybody again after it's all over. That would be, as we say here, a very big chava. and I hope it'll be the springboard for us all staying in touch with each other. Either we could le SMS to SMS, or we could le Facebook to Facebook. They're your old pun for the day, and I hope we'll do it. If anybody happens to be coming through our neck of the woods, please keep in touch. We'd love to have you. Love to show you around, and be well, guys. Take care. Bye.
Yeah.
I've invited this motley cast of characters to assist me. Here's Bensi and Shaya, you've already met, Chezi and Rivka. And I'm going to dedicate it to Alana Weiland, Hey Henry Higgins, and of course Rabbi Schoenbrunn. I figured if Jeff Weisberg could do Hands Across the Water, I could do this. Ready, guys?
Yeah.
Come on, Dova! Come on, Dova! Too early. So, to say goodbye to everybody, at least for now, I've invited this motley cast of characters to assist me. Here's Bensi, Shaya you've already met, Chezi and Rivka. And let's dedicate it to Henry Higgins out there. Hi, Ilana. And of course, Rabbi Schoenbrunn. I figured if Jeff Weisberg could do Hands Across the Water, I can do this. Ready, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah? Come on, Dova. Come on, Dova. Come on, Dova. Move, you blooming. Could you hear the blooming, or did it come out? Hold it off. This is wonderful. The committee members are to be congratulated for an amazing, amazing job, you guys. I want to apologize first of all for this video that was literally thrown together at the 11th hour. I apologize to Yisrael, Seth Lutnick, and Danny Jacobson, the other fellow Israel dwellers, but we couldn't contact them on time to include them. So guys, I apologize, and feel free, we'll amend it by the next reunion. So first of all, for some show and tell, how many of you still have one of these around? And is it being used as an everyday shirt or a night shirt by one of your kids? How much on eBay? Not a chance. Okay, Ronnie, I still have the original proof envelopes from the yearbook, all the pages that I used to get in late all the time. Anyway, so here's the original envelope that used to go to Mr. What's his name? Robespierre? Saint Pierre? The original 38, 83, no. Here are the collage pictures also. Okay. So if I had to even think about what memories to put into a video recollection, I think we'd be way over the 10-minute time slot. So I hope the ones that I sent in for the booklet made it in. Derech Hagav, if Rabbi Schoenbrenn's down here in the gym right now, this is your golden opportunity. Go to his office. It's your only chance in 25 years. Let's see, what else? What else can we say about what's going on here? Shaya, what else is going on here?
No.
No? Okay. So then we'll go on to greatest hopes or fears about this reunion, since I guess we're participating long distance. My greatest fear, aside from how bald all the guys must be by now, would be, I guess, being out of touch with everybody again after such a long time. Well, my other greatest fear is that Macbeth, the Macbeth bit with Mrs. Myers cackling on stage, stirring a garbage can. My greatest fear is that somebody will actually play a copy of that here. Can we do that again? My greatest fear of participating in this reunion, albeit long distance, would be, I guess aside from seeing how bald all the guys are, would also be, well, the other fear would be somebody actually playing a copy of the tape of Mrs. Myers and me doing Macbeth. But I guess the biggest fear of all is losing touch with everybody again. It was really very refreshing. The first conference call for the initial planning of the reunion was so amazing, and that everybody sort of just picked up where they left off, and most everybody sounds exactly the same. And it would be, as they say here, a big chaval to lose touch all over again. So I think with all the technological advances available today, make it nice and easy to stay in touch. My greatest hope is that exactly that'll happen. It's I think there are teachers who would be quite amazed at how organized all of us were getting this together, knowing as they knew us back then. And other teachers would just say it's a very natural outgrowth of what our class really was. And I also just wanted to point out, Mrs. Rose is like, look, there's something behind you. Go check that out. Guys, quick. Got it? Good. By the way, we have the quadratic formula in Hebrew also, but I can't for the life of me remember what it is. Kelly, what is it? What's quadratic formula in Hebrew? So we have everything here in the Holy Land, including the quadratic formula. So I've heard that living here can be compared to lots of different metaphors. I think it was Rabbi Beryl Wine who compared living here to it's like one big shul meeting. Everybody has about 4 opinions, at least, on a good day. They are not afraid to voice them rather loudly. And, but ultimately, everybody has the greater good in mind. It just kind of comes out louder sometimes. I've also heard it compared to sitting front row center at a symphony. You see all the mistakes, you see the glitches, you see the schwitz, you see every time a string breaks, you might see the balagan backstage, but you're part of the show, you're part of the process. You can't miss anything because you see it first. You know, and sometimes sitting in the back row, what did they say? What happened? What's going on? So living in Israel is kind of like front row center at all times. And if you keep your eyes open, and if you keep your eyes and ears open, and you make an effort to look for the good stuff, you see miracles every day. You see that you're part of history every day. You see nevuot unfolding literally in front of your eyes every day. But it takes a little bit of practice, kind of getting your mind set to that channel. Okay. So anyway, we're members of this unbelievable shul where you see kibbutz galuyot kind of also before your eyes. People from 22 different countries. I even met somebody in the park last week who is an Alaskan Eskimo. Believe it or not, an Alaskan Eskimo from a very little fishing village called Naknik. And she made Aliyah with her family also many years ago. We got people from Finland, people from Britain, people from South Africa. Then there's the Americans who the British don't believe speak English either. And everybody else in between. So if you're passing through, please come give us a shout. We'd love to have you. And anytime you want to come and visit the quadratic formula in Hebrew, you know where to find us.
I'd just like to point out that my mother has a perfectly normal and great life without knowing what that is. Bye. My Ima's disc, come to and visit us in Israel. A copy of my Ima's disc, come and visit us in Israel.